All right, let's get into this. So, um, this price action already doesn't really look the greatest to me, but whatever, we'll go over it. I kind of doubt that I'll want to take a trade today just by looking at this. So, first of all, relatively choppy on the high time frames from Monday going into Tuesday. And then Tuesday, we had that big sell off that we were able to capitalize on yesterday. Now we're kind of getting this chop to the upside here. Wait, let's reanalyze that. Okay, cool. So there's a couple things that we need to take into account. This is great. So on the low time frames, or we can start on the high time frame first. On the high time frame, we have a high time frame bullish SMT from this low to this low on NASDAQ, and from this low down to this low on the S&P 500, which leads me to believe that eventually on the high time frames, we are going to want to trade up to take out these highs because that will complete the bullish SMT that we've created. Whether that's today, whether that's tomorrow, who freaking knows? But that's something to keep in mind, that we have a high time frame bullish SMT. Now, what else do we have? If we scale down to the lower time frames, we also have a low time frame bullish SMT, where on the S&P 500, we have these lows up to these lows, and on NASDAQ, these lows down to these lows. However, the S&P 500 already completed the SMT divergence by coming up and taking out these highs. In turn, this is no longer really any of our concern. Something else that we should notice is that currently the S&P 500 is above these highs while NASDAQ is staying underneath these highs. So ES, these are London session highs for the S&P 500, and ES just took them out. These are the highs that ES just took out, and then these are London session highs for NASDAQ. So there's two ways that we can go about this. By keeping the high time frame bullish SMT in mind, let's load this. By keeping the high time frame bullish SMT in mind, we could very well fuel for longs here by just having price react off of this sweep, sell off, take out this low, take out this low, take out London low, take out Asia low, take out whatever lows are necessary immediately upon market open. Like ideally, if we want a long setup, I need to see price dump down, start taking out these lows, and then just be in this manipulation area for me to want to take longs up towards these highs. And ideally, we would be targeting the highs on NASDAQ because NASDAQ is the leading index on the high time frame. I don't want to prioritize that high time frame SMT divergence too much because, again, it doesn't even have to play out today. It could be over the course of several days. It could play out and end up getting completed on Friday for all we care. Okay? So, with that being said, I kind of want to focus on the lower time frames right now. NASDAQ, if we come up and take out these highs and these highs, then I think that we're in a bit of a better position to start potentially. Okay, so look, NASDAQ just took out these highs. Awesome. Now, it would be great if NASDAQ were to take out London session highs. In my opinion, I would rather look for shorts and target these lows. Personally, I would rather look for shorts and target these lows as like take profits rather than wanting price to dump down and take out these lows to fuel them for longs. Because within the long bias, there's not really many draws on liquidity to the left-hand side that we can use here, right? Obviously, that's personal preference. That's not necessarily what the market's not going to necessarily follow our personal preferences. Jeez, I just realized that my face is huge on this. The market's not necessarily going to follow our personal preferences. NASDAQ's ripping. Awesome. NASDAQ took out London session high. So this is more so what I want for market open. I want price to push up. The ideal situation for me would really just be big legs up, whatever, get some sort of manipulation. We're already manipulating London session highs on both the indexes. We've retraced pretty decently into this big gap right here. We're at equilibrium, and I would ideally just want to see price rotate down to these lows right here. We've generated a lot of low resistance draws on liquidity. I do think that this could be as simple as boom, price sweeping out London highs, dumping down, sweeping out these lows, and then that starting the rotation towards whatever, towards completing this high time frame bullish SMT. Simple as that. That's what I would want. You know, up for debate if that happens. I do think, however, there is something to note here. We have these lows on ES, these lows on ES, London lows, Asia lows, previous day lows. So we have a whole bunch of low resistance draws on liquidity on the S&P 500. On NASDAQ, however, we don't. Okay, we have London lows that are like relatively equal with these 30-minute lows right here that the SMT divergence was formed off of. And then we actually made another SMT divergence from these lows down to, or from these lows down to these lows on NASDAQ versus on ES. These lows are stacked up, right? So these lows are low resistance draws on the S&P 500. But on NASDAQ, they're not at all. So NASDAQ, there's not really much room for the downside. Not saying that we can't go down on NASDAQ. I'm just saying that ES has better draws on liquidity to the downside than NASDAQ. So and on top of that, it's leading to the downside right now. Like ES is plummeting while NASDAQ is whatever, all the way the fuck up here, taking out more highs and shit like that. But right now, I kind of just want to sit and watch. Again, ES is pushing down. The best setup possible would actually be the S&P 500 and making the S&P 500 coming down and making a sweep of some of these low resistance draws on liquidity, because ES has draws on liquidity to the downside that can be taken out. So what I would want, but NASDAQ doesn't. Right, so NASDAQ, we already swept these lows. We already swept these lows. Versus ES, right, we have this low, this low, this low, this low, this low. ES has a lot of low resistance draws on liquidity to the downside. Versus NASDAQ, we can see NASDAQ's pushing up pretty high. Why? Because it's already taken out this draw on liquidity, moved up. It already took out this draw on liquidity, and then moved up. There's not many draws on liquidity to the downside for NASDAQ. So this is what I would want from price. I want the S&P 500 to come down, take out some of these draws on liquidity that is available to it, and then in turn have NASDAQ stay up here and create a bullish SMT divergence, and then that also stays in line with our high time frame bullish SMT divergence for us to be able to go long on NASDAQ and then potentially get a big fucking shot all the way up at previous day highs all the way up here. That would be the ideal situation. That would be the ideal situation. So what I want to look at right now is just the S&P 500. And this is setting up gorgeous for us right now. So this is exactly what I said I wanted. Even though obviously the targeting the downside, the lows would have been like better for just easy targets, because like I was saying, there's not many good targets to the upside on the indexes right now, but it's fine. It's setting up for technically it's setting up for good longs. So yeah, all I want to see is just the S&P 500 come down and just like flood out all of these lows while NASDAQ can stay above these highs. And then, dude, we'll be chilling. I think what I would want to see is like ES to just rip, dump down, take out a lot of these lows. It would be sweet if we could take out London lows right here. Bare minimum, take out this low and this low right here. And then on NASDAQ, what I would want to see would be some sort of like low time frame manipulation Because, like, even though we already had the sweep and we're getting the reversal, that's great and all, but I want a New York, because new money's in the market now, come New York market open, I do want price to at least come down a little bit and show us some manipulation on NASDAQ, especially if ES is going to come down and take out a significant amount of these lows. It would be cool if NASDAQ could come down and maybe take out these market open lows. That might be a lot to ask from it, but we'll see. That might be a lot to ask, but we'll see. Jeez, yeah, NASDAQ is ripping right now. We have a fire 1 minute bearish SMT, but yeah, sure, we could take a trade off this just to target these lows, but we don't want to catch that. We want to catch a big move, not a baby move. Oh! This bearish SMT divergence, though, could, again, I just want to see ES come down and take out these lows, but the bearish SMT divergence on NASDAQ could end up fueling that leg to at least take out these 1 minute lows, maybe fill in this 5 minute gap, but it would be really freaking nice if we could come all the way down here. I don't know how probable that is. I think the best case scenario for us is NASDAQ coming and sweeping out these lows while ES is coming down and taking out all of these lows. It's 9:40 right now, so we still have a decent amount of time until I'm willing to look for a trade. So ES is going to take out these lows. We just made equal lows with it. And again, this is fueling up perfect for us. Again, the goal is to just take longs on NASDAQ and then, shit, bro, what? We just target these highs? There's not really too much for us to target. We had this huge, gap right here, which means this is, there's not many resting orders within here. So if we can catch longs somewhere down here, that would make me believe that Because look at this dump through here. It would make me believe at least up until these highs, we'll be able to get a pretty swift move up through this imbalanced price range. Okay, so we made equal lows with these right here. We got to take those out. Again, I'm not stressing too much because we have plenty of time. Nice. So ES took out these lows. We should be able to grab these ones as well. It would be dope if we could just keep going down. Because the lower we go on ES, ideally means the lower we go on NASDAQ. And ideally means the better entry we get. The better long entry we get on NASDAQ. Just going to be patient with this, though, because we really could go pretty freaking low on ES. Because, again, I just don't want to get into longs too early because we have all of these low resistance draws on liquidity on ES. That ES could very well just want to go and take out every single one of them. And if that's the case, then NASDAQ... You know, who knows how low that will go as ES is taking out every single one of these lows. So I just want to play it a little bit safer. Or we just make a bullish SMT off of this. I don't really know if I'm going to like that much. We made a 1 minute bullish SMT. We inverse this 1 minute gap here. I'm just going to stay patient for real. I'm going to stay patient. Because look, we're going to get this up. If we get an up candle here, awesome. We formed the bullish SMT divergence, right? ES took out these lows. NASDAQ is nowhere freaking near them. Cool. From these lows all the way up to these lows. But even with the SMT divergence, I do think that there's going to be another 5 minute retrace down. So awesome. We sweep out liquidity. We have the 5 minute SMT divergence. We need to still convince some people that, hey, this move up here isn't a full reversal. This is actually just a retracement for us to go lower. Hopefully we don't get too much bullishness to the upside to change that, but it's 9:47 right now. I think that we should be able to get some a 5 minute retracement down on that, because boom, once we print this 5 minute bullish candle right here, then this will be the 5 minute bullish SMT created. I really hope that NASDAQ doesn't rip through this price range like I wanted it to without me getting an entry. I'd rather stay patient on this. I really would. But, you know, I'd rather be safe than sorry. So we'll wait for the bullish SMT to form, or it's pretty much already formed. But I do think that ES can get some sort of downturn before letting the whole freaking world know that we're trying to be bullish. At least that's my hope. Hopefully. And I really don't want NASDAQ to just rip through this price range. It's already ripping through it, which kind of fucking sucks, but... the way NASDAQ's moving, we very well could target these highs. So ES is all the way up here. I would just fucking love it, dude. If we get a 5-minute retrace once this 5-minute candle closes, or at least get some selling pressure. Equal highs with these now. Give us like a pretty big 5-minute retrace, please. See, I like that I like that candle on ES. See, this is nice now. This is nice now. So this 5-minute candle was printed, good. So now what I want to see from ES is just a 5-minute down candle. Could even go, we very well on ES could go all the way back down underneath these lows. Believe it or not, we very well could do that. And that would set up for prime time longs on NASDAQ. If we can flood back down through this super illiquid price range right here, like we're doing right now, and that in turn would cause maybe potentially NASDAQ to come and sweep out these lows, then that would give us a really good freaking long. That's what I would want, but we'll see. See, we're seeing ES just rip through this illiquid area right now. Let's get that deep 5-minute retrace. So we tapped into equilibrium on ES. NASDAQ equilibrium's right here. Dude, I would love for ES to just shit on everybody and come down underneath these lows. No. I'm mainly looking at the S&P 500 for my entry on NASDAQ. I really want ES to break structure, or at least inverse this gap here. Yes. Break structure or inverse this gap. Oh, dude, and we look so good for longs. Yes, bro. I'm telling you. That's why you got to be patient, bro. That's why you got to be patient, because see, a lot of people would have been longing like all the way up here because they thought that they think they're going to miss the move. Got to be patient. ES could still very well, and I would actually like it to come down and take out these lows here. I really want the S&P 500 to break structure to the downside on the 1 minute. That would be super duper duper ideal. And I think we're going to get it, bro. I think ES, we can get a flood to the downside, bro. And with that flood, I think NASDAQ hits equilibrium on the 5 minute, or could very well come down, sweep out these lows, and then fuel us for the big longs that we want. But we just got to wait and see. If ES ends up breaking structure to the upside here, I have to take longs on NASDAQ because it won't go down any further. We have 1 minute left on this 5 minute retrace for it to close. I want us to stay down here so that we can close in a bearish candle. I really want us to see us go lower, though. I really want to see it. Yeah. Break structure, dude. This 5 minute candle closes in 25 seconds. So once this 1 minute candle closes, again, if we break structure to the upside, you have to go long on it. Have to go long on NASDAQ if we end up breaking structure. But if we don't, it can very well go lower. No break. Again, if we break on ES, then we'll go long on NASDAQ and we'll just target these highs. I want us to go lower, though. I really do. I really want it. And I'm not gonna lie, this is low-key setting up for a short setup now. But it's like it's lower time frame than the overall objective, which is higher. The reason why I'm not going long yet on NASDAQ is because ES is in this critical point where it can still go lower, and we need to wait to see if we're getting a bullish confirmation to the upside out of this equilibrium. Once we can get bullish confirmation on the 1 minute that, hey, we are going to go higher to the upside, awesome. That's when I'm willing to go long on NASDAQ. But since we still could potentially go lower because we haven't inversed the gap, we haven't broken structure to the upside yet on the 1 minute time frame, we still have potential to go lower here. NASDAQ's just ripping right now, though, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Let's see if we get this break. And if ES keeps fucking around, dude, the more we fuck around at these levels, the more bearish I get. But again, if we break structure here, then it's hard for me to be bearish when we equal highs right here. But the more that we fuck around at these levels, okay, here we go. Let's see if we get the break. Oh. Okay, we broke structure. I'm going to go long here on NASDAQ. There we go. ES is going up now. We're going to take out these highs. So on NASDAQ, I don't necessarily want to target these highs. We'll target these 5-minute highs. I just got to go into the 1 minute and see what's going on here. Yeah, these equal highs are great. So we inversed this gap, we broke structure. So again, the reason why I was waiting to take those longs on NASDAQ was purely because ES was in that position where we very well could have gone lower. We made a bearish retrace. Awesome. So look, let's just like go over it step by step. Sweep of liquidity, bullish SMT divergence on the 5-minute. Boom, from these lows up to these lows down to these lows. Okay, we make the SMT with this big up candle. We get a 5-minute retrace into equilibrium. Then what we're waiting for, once we get that 5-minute retrace into equilibrium, just like any other trade entry, to confirm that we're going to move higher, we need to wait for a 1-minute break of structure to the upside. And the reason why I was waiting for that to happen on the S&P 500 is because the S&P 500 could have gone lower, could have taken out these other draws on liquidity to the downside. Okay, it could have done that, and in turn, if it did do that, then NASDAQ would have gone lower as well. But NASDAQ was sitting up here, and that's why I wasn't willing to take the trade entry, because ES was still down here and didn't give us confirmation to the upside yet. Okay, so now ES has this big gap that it can potentially, run through. NASDAQ, we're moving through this illiquid price range right now. We have 5-minute high right here, 5-minute high right here, 5-minute high, 5-minute high, 5-minute high, previous day high, all the way up here, which is possible for us to hit. So we'll just kind of stay on here and see where price wants to take us. Okay, I'm closing partials right here on NASDAQ. I'm going to move my stop to break even. So I'm up $15,690 off of that partial profit. Let's see how much higher we can go. ES is moving super swift. Again, like I was saying, this is a super illiquid price range. Look how much the hourly dumped through here. We're going to get similar candles to the upside. When we see illiquid price ranges like this, when we see a big flush down, we can see the exact same flush up. I closed partials before this actually even got hit, which kind of, not that it sucks, but it puts me at kind of like a semi-vulnerable position because price could make equal highs, retrace heavily towards my break even, and then end up going up and hitting the majority of the higher uptake profits, but it's fine. Profit is profit. We're moving now. Moving. So NASDAQ took out those highs that I wanted it to. Let's see if we can just... I think that I know it's crazy, but I think that NASDAQ can actually take out previous day highs, which is just insane. ES is just fucking ripping. I mean, same with NASDAQ. Okay, I'm closing partials again. That puts me up $28,586.38 on the day. There you go. Automatically updates into TradeZella just like that. Just so you guys know I ain't capping. Just so you guys know I ain't capping. That's today. Good start to October, already up 71K. This could be another really good month for me. Remember when we were younger and like our teeth would just like get loose and wiggly and then we would have to pull them out ourselves? I just thought of that. Isn't that crazy? That we had to do that shit, bruh? Like our teeth would just get loose and fucking fall out, bro. I remember that. That shit was insane. Like, what? What do you mean I have a loose tooth? And then you're just like, and you had to like man up and just fucking rip it out yourself. I always thought I was so cool because I would just fucking rip that bitch. Rip that bitch up myself. Okay, let's see if I get stopped out at break even here. I might have already gotten there. Nope, not quite. Not quite there just yet. Not quite there just yet. If we can turn around here, then I think that I'll be safe. If we can start printing some bullish candles from here, then I think that I'll be safe. As long as ES doesn't take out these lows, because then we'll have another low time frame bullish SMT. But who knows? I don't really care. I'm up 28K on the day, so I don't care. Ugh, I made my money. Money. I made my money. Nice. Let's see if we can go up here. Nice. Nice. We're getting that SMT. SMT from here to here. I love being able to predict financial markets. It's the best job in the world, bros. It's the best job in the world. Learn the skill and don't let go of it. I kind of need to go poop. Kind of need to go poop. I need a big poop. Just dropping a big old poop. Dropping a big fat poo. Nice. We're about to complete this SMT divergence. ES just needs to get above these highs here. I would like NASDAQ to push a little bit higher. Maybe hit a third take profit. I do think it is kind of crazy for me to be targeting all the way up here, but hey, bro. Hey man, we did have this bullish SMT divergence right here. We did have it, so never say never, dude. Never say never. I'll probably just leave like baby ass runners if that is the case. I want to see something. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. How is my Zella score bad for the month of October? Well, it's probably because I've only taken whatever, a couple trades, and it's probably it hasn't processed that I've been like I have the opportunity to take a loss. Wait, something else that I want to see from September 17th. Wait, what? How many winning days in a row have I had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 winning trading days in a row so far. And keep in mind, bro, this is what I want to see. Remember when everyone was making videos saying that I suck at trading, that I'm unprofitable, and that I'm a gambler? Right after people were saying that, that was on this day. Right after people were saying that, okay, we go on, what is this? So let me just do the calculation. From September 17th till now. I went and made $696,000, bro. From this day forward, I am up $696,000. From when everybody was saying, oh, you're a gambler. Oh, you're not good at trading. TJR is unprofitable. Yeah, 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 buddy. Pipe down. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Shut up, little baby boy. You're just a little baby. You're just a little baby. You're just a baby. You're just a little baby. You're just a little baby. Okay, this SMT divergence was completed. ES took out these highs. Again, I'm so fucking good at this, bro. I'm good. I'm good at this, dude. And I'm trying to teach you guys how to do it too. Man. I'm good at it. I'm telling you, I'm good at this. I'm good at this shit, man. I'm good. Bro, what the fuck? Yes, you can. I don't know why the 6 missed calls. I don't know why those calls weren't going through, dude. So ES has now fully completed this hourly for value gap. We'll see what we end up doing here. I would still like price to go higher because of that high time frame SMT. But we'll see. It really doesn't matter. It don't matter to me. It don't matter it do and do. It don't matter to me. It don't matter of anything, let me know. It don't matter to me. It don't matter to me. It don't matter anymore. I might just close out of everything here. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna close out of everything here. Okay, so that ends the day with a total of $35,827.30 in profit. And just so you guys know I'm not capping, there's $35,000 in your freaking face. I'll literally do this every single day that I trade again, because so you guys can literally see that I'm telling you guys the exact fucking P&L every single time. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a day here, folks. GG, no re. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Solid trading day. Peace out.